Last week, as you'll remember, Will Robinson slipped away from the spaceship to try to repair the chariot, unaware that the renegade robot, programmed to obey only Dr. Smith's voice orders, was loose in the area.
Guess I was wrong. I really thought I could fix it. Boy, it's cold. I gotta get back to the ship. What?
Essential personnel are found alone. Destroy.
Go back! You hear me? Go back! Keep away from me! Go back! Go back! Go back!
He must have gone out to try to fix that chariot. Don't worry, we'll bring him right back. Smith, where are you going?
Just on my way to prepare a little after-dinner surprise. You may not be aware of it, but I happen to be...
You may not be aware of what's going to happen to you if your friend the robot causes any more trouble.
My friend?
Well, you programmed him so he only obeys your voice.
An oversight on my part. But when you think about it, what possible trouble could that friendly servant of man...
Dad! Help me! It's the robot! He's trying... Stop, my mechanical friend. Before you continue, my metallic cohort, I must put you through a routine check.
Temporary delay allowed. Circuits open for routine check.
Get Smith. tell him you'll put him back in that deep freeze if he doesn't get out here and stop this.
King's pawn to king's 5.
Queen's knight to king's bishop 2.
Will!
Don't distract him. He knows what he's doing.
Queen's bishop to king's knight 4. Queen's bishop to king's knight 4.
Major West, just in time to test a culinary marvel. The crepe Suzette Henri Carpentier de Paris, which I learned at the feet of the master.
Get outside and stop that tin monster, or I'll wring your neck.
Threaten violence, will you? Stand back, sir. Or I'll drum on your noggin until it rings like the Canterbury Chimes. I surrender.
All right. Now get out and make the robot stop.
But of course, my dear fellow, of course.
One false move.
Knight to queen's bishop 3.
It does not compute.
Cancel. Knight to king 3.
Very clever, my boy. Very clever using a chess game to check your circuits. Congratulations, sir. You've spawned a brilliant little tank.
You get that power pack out right now.
Dr. Smith to the rescue. Cease and desist. Just another moment, my boy. Ah. There, my brave boy. It's all over now.
You take your hands off him.
My dear madam.
Don't you dear madam me, turning that thing loose on him.
But I had nothing to do with it. I give you my word.
Well, then how did it get activated?
My dear Dr. Robinson, I was here alone. A puny mortal facing heaven knows what perils in a strange world. I was entitled to some protection, wasn't I? Naturally, I never dreamed
Why
that...
weren't you on hand to control it when we returned?
I was preparing our little surprise. By the way, dear lady, where do you keep the orange bitters? Crepe Suzette is sublime with orange bitters, and a disaster without it.
Nothing of whatever life forms may exist on this planet. We only know that we must depend on ourselves for survival. So starting tomorrow, we're going to turn this immediate area into a self-sufficient community, and that means everyone is going to have his job to do. And that means everyone. Do you understand, Dr. Smith?
I pledge you my utmost cooperation, sir.
What about the robot? He's a member of the community, isn't he?
Oh, we'll bring him in, but for the time being, he'll remain deactivated.
But Dad!
That's another one of those orders, son.
Yes, sir.
I suggest we turn in. We're going to have a busy day tomorrow.
Excellent work, gentlemen. Excellent.
You don't suppose you could give us a hand with this heavy gear, do you? I mean, we'd like to get this force field set up before nightfall.
So sorry, old man. I promised to help Miss Judy in the garden. But carry on. Well, now, how are we coming along?
Where have you been?
Helping your father and Major West set up the force field. Very important work, my dear. They required my advice on a technical problem. What a shame. You've almost finished.
There's still that section over there.
Ah, yes, so there is. Incredible.
What is it?
This native soil has all the richness of the Mississippi Delta. Fine, heavy loam.
Looks like sand to me.
Nonsense. Ah, yes.
Don said it wasn't safe to use any of the native soil.
Ridiculous. However, I will take a little sample of this to the lab for a soil analysis. Meanwhile, my dear, you carry on with your planting. By the way, what are you setting out?
Potatoes, peas, carrots, tomatoes, squash, and corn.
And little green onions, my dear? Oh, yes, indeed. Plenty of little green onions. Yes. Carry on.
Soil analysis. Well, anyway, he's a good cook. Sure he is.
Well, what is our young scientist working on today?
Visual scanner. I figured I could repair the one that got ruined in the wreck. It won't work as good as new, but it ought to show what's going on within a radius of a few miles. Darn. Can you lend me a hand for a few minutes?
My dear boy, I would be doing you a disservice if I offered assistance. Little setbacks are good for the young. They build character. Besides, I have an important experiment in the laboratory.
Dr. Smith, what are you doing here?
My dear madam, there are limits to the endurance of mere bone and sinew. I have been going at top speed all day, and I've reached the point of exhaustion. However, I'm happy to say that not only have I solved our hydroponic farming problems, but also we shall shortly be enjoying the fruits of my labors from behind an impregnable defense system, to which I also contributed.
All set. Now move back. You're too close to the field. All right. Let her go. Okay, try the laser. Okay, that's it.
That force field would stop a rocket barrage.
I think so.
What's our next move, then?
We'll fix the chariot and bring it in. We're gonna need transportation. We'll start in the morning.
Good.
Goodbye, darling.
Bye-bye. When will you be back?
Well, it shouldn't take more than a couple of hours to fix the chariot and get back. Will, you're in charge, and I want you to take good care of your mother and your sisters.
Yes, sir. But, Dad, about the robot, just...
I want you to leave that robot alone. That's an order, understand?
But, Dad...
That's it, William.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Didn't offer much of an argument, did you? You heard what he called me, didn't you? And Dad calls me William in that tone of voice. It's no use in arguing.
Mother! What is it? Come quickly, something terrible's happening in the garden. Where? Dr. Smith planted the seeds. I found them just now. They grew overnight. Well, Doctor, what do you make of it?
Just a small offering on my part toward the welfare of this brave company. This one pot alone should provide us with days of nutritious eating. May I?
Stand back. Be careful.
Excellent shooting, my boy, excellent. I'll take over now.
What were you doing when my mother and sisters needed you?
I was about to run for a weapon, of course. Prepared to sell my life dearly in mortal combat to defend your relatives.
I'll bet you were.
There, now, that's enough of that, Will. Come on, Will.
That should do it. Let's get back. I worry about leaving the family alone.
Bad terrain, you better slow down.
That's strange. I never noticed those rough spots before.
How's it going?
Yeah, take a look. Living cells, neither animal nor vegetable, but combining characteristics of each.
Well, what does it mean?
Well, those cells came from tissue obtained from the thing that incubated in that garden pea. Here. Look at these.
They're the same.
Exactly. And that slide contains a sample of native soil from this planet.
The soil of this planet contains a parasite requiring another life form in order to reach maturity.
That's right. That or metamorphosis.
Meaning?
Constant changing sequence of life forms. Starting with some insignificant life cell in the soil and ending who knows where.
Perhaps I should mention that the garden pea which served as host to this particular specimen was 6 feet long. I suggest, gentlemen, that we remain constantly on guard. Vegetation-wise, at least, we are on a most hostile planet.
Boy, when I think of all the things you could do for us if you were only fixed right, I bet Dad would really thank me if I could get you going right. It couldn't be that hard. Now, if I only figured it right. Then again, suppose I did it wrong. Boy, now I know how that old Dr. Frankenstein must have felt.
compute.
Never mind that. How do you feel?
The word feel has no relation. It does not compute.
What's that?
A sound.
I know that, Dopey. What kind of sound? Hey, wait, where are you going?
Unidentified sounds require investigation.
Come back. I didn't mean for you to go find out.
Force field operative must deactivate.
Come back here! Robot, come back here! Robot, you come back here! Come back!
Well, what are you doing out here? And who turned off that force field?
The robot did.
I thought I told you to stay away from the robot.
Yes, sir. But I thought if I could...
Don't you realize he might have turned on you again? Might have tried to destroy us all?
Yes, sir. But I thought if I could reprogram him...
Now, what do you know about reprogramming a complicated... Where is he now?
We heard a noise and the robot went after it. I'm sorry, Dad. I'll go get him if you want me to.
No. You go to bed.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you in the morning.
Good night,
Talk to you about last night.
I thought sure he'd be back by now.
Well, you happen to be a very bright and very talented boy. All right? Look at me. But you're still a boy. And there are some things that even the brightest, most talented boys should leave to older hands. Now, with a little patience, a little time, we could have reprogrammed that robot to do its job. But because you acted without thought or permission, we lost a piece of valuable equipment that we needed very badly. And that's all I'm going to say to you about the robot.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
What in the world is he talking about?
Humanoid, not 16 meters high. Data inaccurate.
He's flipped. Well, if you ask me, I think the thing's had a nervous breakdown.
Does not compute.
I guess he needs a rest. It's been a big day for him.
I wonder what he saw.
I don't know. Whatever it was too much for his memory banks. Let's go inside. We'll work it out there. Our first weeks in this strange world have passed, and all are healthy and in good spirits. Since the incident of the giant pod, we've encountered nothing in the way of alien life. Although among us all is the vague feeling of another presence, somewhere out there in the vast wastes. We have since learned how to plant safely in this alien soil, and to domesticate some of its strange ostrich-like animals. The amazing growth rate of the soil has already provided us with an adequate food supply. Today, however, a new problem presented itself.
Well, why should it die overnight?
I don't know. It's been colder than this, but not cold enough to kill the plants.
Or perhaps a night frost.
Well, I think our weather station would have warned us in time to save the plants. And besides, wouldn't we have felt the cold ourselves?
Inside the ship with the automatic heat? Well, it could fall to below zero late at night and we'd never notice it.
Maybe Don and I had better check that weather station.
I hope the instruments are okay. This wind might have smashed everything. The wind is stronger. It's getting colder.
look at this thing. But the day after tomorrow, the temperature will drop 150 below zero.
What will we do?
We're going to have to head south, but fast.
Abandon the spaceship? What if it's finally spotted by some passing rocket?
They'll televise a picture back to Earth.
Oh, yeah, that's great. A picture showing no signs of life, no survivors.
Well, Don, I'd rather not be found at all if I had to be picked up by a pair of ice tongs. Come on, let's get out of here.
You don't suppose we could just button up the hatches and stick it out inside the spaceship, do you?
We'd freeze to death. Take my word for it. Even if we could insulate well enough, the solar batteries would never stand the drain.
It's moving day, Major West.
Wait a minute. There's one gauge I think we ought to check, just to see how much time we do have.
Look.
That must be what the robot saw. No wonder the poor clugger had a nervous breakdown. That couldn't be.
It is.
A footprint. Not of a man.
Of a something that walks on 2 feet. Only 5 times as big as anything we ever thought of as human.
Giants? Oh, come on, Doc.
Let's go. I don't want to leave the family alone a second longer than necessary.
I don't believe it.
Neither do I. But let's get out of here.
How's it coming?
Pretty good.
Don't pick too many, dear.
I won't, Mother. Hey, Mom, I got it working.
What?
The radio telescope.
Did you locate Dad?
I'm not so sure.
Well, can't you talk to him?
I've got a picture, no sound.
What do you see? again. Did either of them take a gun with them? What's wrong? What do you think? I don't know yet. Well, then why are you talking about guns? Mom, we've got to do something. They'll be killed if we don't. Now, Judy, please, just calm down. Will, you come back here. Do you hear me? Will!
There's no other way out. I better take another look.
Should he starve to death? We're safe in here. If we get him any mad, we'll tear this mountain apart. Sorry, Doc.
Did I? At least we know he can feel pain.
Yeah. He knows we're hiding in here. You sure did.
Well, doing here?
I saw you in trouble over the scope,
So you thought you'd come and save us. And you did save us. Now, I want you to promise me something. On your word of honor.
Yes, sir?
When I tell you to stay and protect the family, don't you ever leave your post again, understand? If we're going to survive in this place, we must follow orders. And that goes for all of us. There may be other giants around. Here. Put this on. There you go. Not as big as you thought you were, huh? All right. Let's move. Come on.
Leave the ship. Are you out of your collective mind? Here we have simple comforts, a more than adequate cuisine, ample protection from the perils of the planet, and you want me to leave.
It's either that or freeze to death.
My dear sir, Zachary Smith would rather freeze to death intact than provide a few morsels for some carnivorous giant. No. You do as you please. I shall stay here.
It's your funeral, Smith.
Just leave me a few necessities. I feel confident that I shall survive.
We'll leave you all we can spare. Well, Don, let's see about getting underway. Good luck, Smith. You'll need it.
You'll come back, never fear. And you'll find me here, snug as can be. You'll see.
I guess this is goodbye, robot.
Goodbye, goodbye. A sentimental phrase to indicate the separation or parting of emotional beings.
Never mind that. It means I won't be seeing you for a while.
Derived from an early English expression.
That's enough. And the least you can do is try to show a little decent sentiment. We won't be together anymore.
That does not compute.
Oh. Maybe that'll teach us something about sentiment.
Come on, kids. Keep moving. We have to get out of here. All right, let's go. I want us to get out of here as quickly as we can.
All right.
Children, come on now, let's go. Will? Where's Penny? Where's your sister? She was riding on the turtle, she and the book. Then all of a sudden she was gone.
Well, where did she go?
I don't know, I turned around and she wasn't there anymore.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'll find her.
Penny? Penny! Penny!
Listen, Doc. When that blizzard hits, which may be sooner than we expect, the temperature's going to drop about 60 degrees in less than half an hour. Now, the moment it hits 10 below, I want you to take off by way of the inland sea.
Wouldn't we be better off going by land?
We'd have to go through the Giant's Valley. And that's too risky, especially after that close call we had this morning.
Doc, I'm not going to take off without you.
Whether I come back or not.
I'm cold. I catch pneumonia from this. They're never ever gonna let me play with either of you again. I knew turtles were stubborn, but I thought you'd have more sense than to run away. Daddy! Oh, Daddy, I was so frightened.
It's all right. There's nothing to be frightened of. It's all right.
Oh, I'm cold.
I'll bet you, 9 below. 1 more degree and they'll leave without us. Come on, piggyback.
Come on, Debbie, come on.
Come on.
Come on. Come on.
All right?
Yeah,
Okay, hang on now.
okay.
It won't be long.
Will? Mommy! I had to get my tester. Okay. Here you go. We can't leave without Daddy and Penny. We just can't.
We have to. We'll all die if we don't.
Don, please, just a few more minutes.
You think I like to leave without them? When Dr. Robinson said 10 below zero, he didn't just pick a number out of a hat. That's the deadline, with the emphasis on dead if we don't stick to it.
No, I'm not leaving without them. Don't start the motor. Don, I'm warning you. We're not going without them. Mom, look!
gun hatch, just in case.
Big boulders didn't do the power unit any good.
How long to fix?
Couple hours anyway.
I don't know how safe it is, but we better camp here.
Dress like a lady if you don't hold still. Oh.
I'm glad Dad decided to camp here.
All the comforts of home.
Home was never like this.
Green sleeves is my delight. Green sleeves is all my joy. Green sleeves is my heart, although then who but my Oh, Dad, bet you don't know what I saw.
What?
Judy and Don. He was kissing her on the hand like this. bet he picked up 1,000,000 germs.
Oh, Penny, dear, young people sometimes have ways of doing things which, to wiser heads such as you and I, may seem a little strange.
In other words, I should mind my own business?
That's right.
I thought so.
I do find it hard to think of Judy as anything but a child.
Well, considering the population implosion up here, we can't very well ask you to play the field now, can we?
That's right.
Now I know the one scientific specialty we didn't bring from Earth.
What's that?
A marriage counselor.
For them.
Who else?
Electronics. Well, pardon me.
It looks almost like some sort of a kind of a castle. You don't suppose there's somebody still living here?
We'll soon find out. Don, save the flares. We'll need them later.
I'll get the flashlights.
Debbie. Come on, Debbie.
We'll see if it's safe enough to spend the night.
Stay with us now.
Now watch this.
Lights?
Yeah, here.
Well,
Here.
Thank you.
this.
Will? Penny? I guess they wandered into another room.
Listen.
It's an earthquake. Julie, stay close to Penny.